My name's Alexandra Morton, and I am trying to protect this coast from fish farms. The main problem with fish farms is that they concentrate disease, and they are on the wild salmon migration route. So they are a feedlot. We don't let wild birds land in chicken farms because we are so afraid of avian flu. It's the same dynamic with fish farms. They breed pathogens, they pour out into the water, it distributes for many, many kilometers, and they're in the narrow migration route of our wild salmon. So our wild salmon experience far more disease and parasites than they would in the natural world, and they're just not built to survive it. Everywhere in the world there are salmon farms. Wild salmon and trout are going into steep decline. To learn about salmon, I went to the fishermen, and it was the fishermen who came back to me when the salmon farms moved in and said, hey, they're putting them all in the wrong places. There are going to be problems with our fish. And so they were the ones who first brought it to my attention.
Alexandra Morton, who's an anti-fish farm campaigner, she was making a big fuss about the Broughton Archipelago and saying that the sea lice are killing all the returning salmon and things like that. So she drew out a corridor and said, this is where the majority of juvenile pink salmons go in and out. We want your salmon farm out of the water during the migration periods. Yeah. They did that, took their fish out, and they had an increased rate of sea lice incidents on the fishes migrating in and out than they did when they had the salmon farms there. The controversy about sea lice is advantageous to people that make money by opposing things, creating doubt in people's minds about how things should be. The iconic Pacific salmon is going to be completely wiped out by sea farms. Yeah. Untrue. You know, they've been living with sea lice. If there weren't sea lice, they wouldn't be living.
Organic farm salmon in net pens is not better from a biological point of view because they still host the parasites and the diseases. You can't take farm animals and put them in the wild environment and not expect problems because disease brews in farms. The reason nature has predators is they kill the sick ones off. They keep the population healthy and they keep moving. But farm salmon stay in one place, there's no predators, and so disease builds up.
These diseases are in the wild fish. They're in the ocean. They are a way of culling. And we can't, as farmers, afford cullings. You know, we've got to have 90% of our stock get through or we're going to lose money. If there was one thing to advocate for in aquaculture is to limit the densities that you can have in the ponds. Yeah. Then you have a much lower impact of manure and feed waste. Oh, yeah. And the fishes have less impact on each other, so there's lowered stress. Yeah. But if the densities are too low, then the fish, it's like Henny Penny, the sky's falling, they're all freaked out.
The organic label on farm salmon is a ploy just to get people to buy fish. I thought part of the organic vision was to fit into this planet instead of running against it. And salmon farms are destroying wild salmon around the world.
I'm often asked, well, big deal. So you say you're organic. Is that just so you can get more money? Is it just so that you can sell in Capers Market or Whole Foods or something like that? And that's not the case. You know, the organics is about better fish health, better growth, yeah, and a smaller footprint on the environment.